In celebration of my spiky head bro-do from the original Dead Rising 2006, Mr. Frank West, I have abandoned the bandana for today only, folks, and maybe the previous other video as well, actually, where I talk about something more ridiculous, more insane, which makes me think, Capcom, I'm not going to be buying your ridiculous digital remaster remake. That's not even a physical edition anyway, unlike this beauty I'm holding right here, because do you know what else they've gone and done? I know this is an old story, but I've got to talk about it on my channel. Yes, when you go on prestige points in the mall, Frank West can do some naughty things with his camera, like taking pictures of ladies' bums, boobies and thighs. But guess what? For the woke digital remastered remake, they've removed that feature from the game so as not to offend sensitive players.
Flashing through the sky, he's a go-go guy. Stronger than a train with a so-so brain. He's fearless, careless, a little too careless.
Approved by 1970s Robert Redford. Hello? Is it me you're looking for?
Capcom further... Let's try that again.
Capcom further censors Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. Capcom removes further naughty things from their upcoming Dead Rising Redux Remastered. And essentially what that means is, folks, is what I said in my intro. This is absolutely redonkulous. I will get into why I think this is a really stupid idea from Capcom, which doesn't actually give me any hope for the future. Again, while I think they remaster here, now here's a funny thing, folks. I mean, if they're talking about, oh, we can't have that naughty photographic mechanic in our deluxe remaster, remake, whatever you want to call it, they were very keen to actually re-emphasize the absolute boobage of Jessica McCartney right here. I mean, holy shit, man, that's something to be applauded, I suppose. But again, it contradicts why they're censoring other parts of the game. You remember that psychopathic Asian cook, you know, the butcher, and now he's a white dude because apparently it's okay to make him a white dude? The upcoming Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster has suffered, yeah, you can say that again, more censorship, trials and tribulations thanks to Capcom. Eroddy, put your hands all over my body. Not one of Madonna's finest moments, but hey, we'll give her a pass on that one. Just don't make a pass at her, especially with what she looks like these days. Ugh. In Dead Rising, prestige points, as the game's form of experience points, can be offered to you after you acquired so many of them to upgrade protagonist Frank West into a formidable zombie chopping killing machine. Sounds like my kind of guy. There are a number of ways which these points can be earned, including rescuing fellow survivors, completing missions, and in service of Frank's job as a photojournalist, taking photographs. It sounds great so far. Upon snapping a photo, the image will then be categorized by how well the subjects in the photo represents a certain theme, with more points being awarded for each additional instance of said theme. For example, a photo of a zombie will be assigned as horror, and more horror elements in the same photo would result in the player being awarded more points. So getting carnage, people being eaten alive, that's what gives you the extra prestige points.
Something I didn't know about, by the way, and it obviously flew over my head, that you could do other certain things in the game. So to this end, in discussing the new and returning features for Dead Rising, the Deluxe Remastered, blah, who cares? In a new report, Japanese video game news outlet Famitsu, machine translation via DeepL, revealed that the erotica photo category won't be returning, explaining you can now take a wider variety of pictures than in the original version. Various filters can be applied, or in this case appalled, to the photos you take. The outlet then notes the erotica point of evaluation, which consisted or existed in the original, is not available in this title. Whoa, look at that. Jeez, I mean, come on, man. This is just harmless fun, right? This is Japanese mind subculture, because they like this sort of thing. Again, in 70s and 80s Great Britain, and in America to a greater degree, I suppose, having this stuff was acceptable. In the film 1984 of Blue Thunder, not the film 1984, Roy Scheider is in that stealth beast flying over a neighborhood and zooms in on a woman's boobs while she's getting changed. I thought it was absolutely hilarious.
Oh no!
Come on, we gotta go to work.
So it was fine to have that in the movie, but apparently now, if you have it in a video game, oh no, you can't do that. It's just considered inappropriate. By the way, do you know like titles like A Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one from 1984 again, they've been downgraded by the British Board of Film Censors because apparently video games are much more violent and in their nature than horror films made by Hollywood, which I think really is doing a disservice, because if you're saying one medium is more toxic than the other, then what are you trying to say, British Board of Film Censors? Are you trying to go out there and give video games a bad name? Is that what you're trying to do? That's what it smells like to me. While on the surface it might seem illogical, Captain, to have Frank taking pictures of female cleavage, I like the fact it doesn't actually say which sex of cleavage you want to take. I mean, look, you've got to take a man's man boobs in the game, see if it actually gives you prestige points while he's stuck in a life or death situation. I mean, this is comedy, folks. And again, I'm seeing some AI boobies or video game boobies in my game and I can take pictures. I'm going to zoom in on it, right? Whoa! There are some sober moments. This series also allows for players to dress its protagonists in silly costumes to gain unrealistic abilities, which is absolutely true. The whole point about zooming in on Miss McCartney's great, amazing cleavage is that it's fun. And the fact that you're chopping up zombies in the mall, leaving it with blood, no cleanup crew to come along, then of course you want a bit of a break from the mind-blowing monotony that's going on. Frank West is left in no man's land with zombies. What's the man supposed to do? In the Dawn of the Dead remake from Zack Snyder in 2004, by the way, which was written by James Gunn, there's a moment where a couple are bonking each other in the mall, aren't they? But of course, nobody said anything about that, did they? That was a 2004 modern update, not for necessarily a modern audience. But hey, check this out. This is the original 2006 Dead Rising game. I'm not hankering for a remake. Melonhead gamers, Black Girl gamers, Sweet Baby Inc. and Bridge, all those moronic consultants out there who claim we need to diversify video games even more. We got to bring more representation. Look, we got a guy right here. I mean, you don't need further representation than that, do you? But hey, let's carry on with this.
So they won't.
And I can't hear anything.
Wait a minute. You want to get back in there? What for? Hey.
Frank West is such a good character. He really is. Oh, hello.
Nice camera. Are you a photographer?
As a matter of fact, I am.
And I take pictures of cleavage
Frank
and bums
West,
and boobs.
photojournalist.
Could you show me some pictures, Frank?
Oh, yes, please. Yep, my man Frank, he's got a good eye.
You really seem to know what you're doing. Who are you guys, anyway? And what are you... I took that one near the entrance.
I'm enjoying that top view.
That guy do something?
You're very welcome, Miss Carney. Good grief. Or should I say Miss McCarney? Whew. Damn, man. Game successfully saved. I cannot wait to play my version, my uncut, unfiltered version of Dead Rising from 2006. And I only paid like £10 for it, which is really amazing. I mean, there's this false narrative going around at the moment that certain Xbox 360 games are going to shoot up in price because that platform is no longer available. Microsoft have put it to rest now, but obviously if you own an OG console like I do, the games are still relatively cheap. You can go to somewhere like CEX and buy pre-owned games on the Xbox 360 for even £2, maybe even £1 if you're really lucky. I mean, damn, man. Yeah, that cleavage is definitely popping out in all the right places from this lady right here, Miss McCarney. Holy hell, man. And back then, some of us would have been paying attention. Other times you'd be like, yep, she's an attractive female. She looks hot. And I got to say, again, the attention to detail with Frank is just incredible. It's so good. In a glorious time and age, folks, where video games were just that. Video games, not propaganda driven agenda machines like it's all become now, because hijackers such as activists like Mary McKenney or Mary Kenny have all stepped in and they want to course correct video gaming because it's not a male hobby anymore, it's a female hobby. No, it's not. The majority of men play video games. So when people like SSS Sniper Wolf come in and say, oh, I play Call of Duty. No, you don't. You're just a glorious little hussy who wants to get her booby brownie points and tell people that we play these kind of video games. No, you don't. You're all boring hacktivists. That's what you are. But let's just head on back to my main screen, folks. And, oh, hello. Good grief. Yeah, she looks amazing, doesn't she? My favorite sidekick, Jill Valentine, with incredible sidekicks of her own. And on that one, ladies and gentlemen, I think this Dead Rising Deluxe Remastered Rebutchered, that's what I'm going to call it actually, will be moderate. People will not be, excited about it. Yes, the upgrades look nice, but if you're removing certain things or changing certain elements so you don't offend people out there who wouldn't be offended in the first place, but now you highlight it, Capcom, you really are becoming a dead company to me. Capcom, Dead Rising. No, leave them to rot in the corner. So on that one, folks, if you were me and if I were you, you should come back for the next video.
Tune in next time, Space Freaks, and hear your doobry go ping in the next gripping installment of
Kung Fu Hot Dog.
It's Frank. Frank West. Remember that name, because the whole world's gonna know it in 3 days.